Welcome to Care Madam Sanya, Borom, Sweden. This is another Care Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. Man, I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. Care Finder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities. And the drawers are so spacious, and then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. Care Finder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well, so you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot, trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Seka. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because Care Finder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 417-2215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale, has an owner and not open for viewing. Care Finder is here for you.
Nothing ndemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia le mu APS di. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyati mbondari taba futu wola. At least ya fonte ko APS nyunkullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo. Yo mi fo yenda sija. Ndanga moyo ko APS wallet isa kodo kinu. Min tata fo wuli muang ime charge fenna wala nta sindija
ako ngatimbo nkoy ko kabo transito katawula fo wuli muang ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal ike tamuna ike charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% da malam mati
wota yara gabe no be nyanta wula kana APS wala tele mo baylo ko ka kodo ki ibadi ngol
yajale ni APS kabrin nan credit koto bari min kum mayata bet wala fango kas pawat din suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto jeje nyamen don tachi ama ni ama don abanta ila kas pawa isa hawasima ajibe free joriti
wata mbaden gameno albesito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lam baylo kon APS wallet nyaata doro barin kodo nim fata do suko kon to
ni be fono le mol nyaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fole
basiti jembita ndo register jede kadu sa APS 100% namum
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
Assalamu alaikum badi ngol ngali konton kale bismillah ko reke momo be kerfaatu jube ka nyentem ben ala di grand bantaba programme min kanale arjuma ni wato sita nga molu be bismillah molu mi alon ko le ka nyim programme no ma ni wato sita mbaflale ko ala baraka banke milka no ma YouTube milka no ma Facebook mbafla mo be ko al subscribe na YouTube channel la free of charge lem nal subscribe ta milba jibe kam Facebook al fanan ye style sen kerfaatu e baje la ube mol ma ko la banke nda do ko to mi alon ko be wolle kan Gambia banko kan jang of course APS itol lenyim programme o fasa ka sembentuande itol nin care find milia lonko itol ka korda wa fo ke APS wallet mobe katele you sign bayring nalbe tama kan Gambia banko kan jang dula beto albela agento le jelale ila kol sone ata bakele ifana edung sign sa ila mobile ota e download ke APS wallet la abe mako ila kodi kiola natare be kombo jang pour ka kodo ki ka samba base kiang kata fo badibu isa keno barika kodo ki kabo Gambia bantala kana Gambia banko kan jang isa keno nying abo fanang isa use no le pour ka cash power sang ala free of charge ibuke charge fenna je isi credit go fanan sanno nying abo la wathara imam feng ime charge fenna je woto ila mobile ota sai ye APS wallet app download ifana tara mo nyontangol kono wathara ite batala especially nyin sama kono aman jari yeta biti ko pour kara credit go sang ibasan na APS abo la watra be siring ila bungole kono andum fana natare lafta cash power sanna ning suo kuda sama be kekan ibela APS abo le ustal do edunje ye cash power sang andum APS te charge la hani fenna komi ka sanya men nawek abe kala wala nyama woto mobe ta APS abo download ker fanda ka korda wa fole ke Gambia banko kan jang andi kordal soto dula bel to Gambia jang al lafta korda la location wo location do sate wo sate ya soto le location ol mi alon ko betata bakele bari man dan woto kordalo fana ka kele mol mi alon ko kene kensengol le babulu albita ker finder drong ibe loro kelale watu la mi alon ko al lafta walla bari man dan woto kordal lorim bandingol fana be bulle mi alon ko ker finder ya lole fa pareta albe min kela don albitale alliance ngi chabo dialla ale dungal la korda kono so ker finder ni APS ngebe tentu ke jey baake ka tara nying programme ko ma nene welcome back again, another Friday.
Welcome back again. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Di wax ñi seetaan yëpp suma naataango yi fi nekk suma caamin yu baax yi di wax ñëpp asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatulahi taala wa barakaatu di wax ñëpp juma mubarak di leen ñaanal ajuma bu sell ajuma bu naat ajuma bu ànd ak taranga ajuma bu ànd ak jàmm ak yokkute di am mbégte rek di leen jaajëfal ak kontaante gu mag ni ñëwaat nañ fi beneen ajuma rek pour waxtaan ak askan bi pour indi ay leerte pour indi ay waxtaan pour indi ay faram-fàcce yëpp jubluwaay bi ni ma koy waxee saa yu nekk mooy yokkute ak jëm kanami réew mi parce que suñ toog fii nii du suñ jëmi boppa waaye yëfi réew moo ñu fi taaj kon déglu leen ñu ak xel bu leen ñu déglu ak xol xam ne rek suñ juumee rek suñ motadi la waaye luñ fi wax mu rafet luñ fi wax mu indi yokkute luñ fi wax mu indi bennoo ak juboo rek ñu xam ne ci yàlla la kon di leen jaajëfal di nuyu waa kër gi yëpp nag teg ko ci borom kër gi muy Fatou bu baax bi Touré Mandi Mori ni ko Ousmane Sonko di wax di ko ooyee rek Touré Mandi Mori ndeysaan non fan yi nag ndeysaan suma Ousmane Sonko bi dafa def lu raar ma kontaan di ko wish nag happy birthday pros suñ pros happy birthday dundal ba dundal sàppe la yal na sa jàmm yàgga yal na sa fan gudda yal na la yàlla iir la yokk la bi nga yëg ko éene gi nga am pour Sénégal éene gi nga am pour Afrique éene gi nga am pour réew mi yal na ko yàlla mottali te yal na ko la egg ci ñëpp.
ñu ne seen parti bi am na problème de lu fa nekk ñu ne Sonko Diomaye jubóowuñ taay.
waaye ci gis-gis la am na ñoo xam ne seen gis-gis mooy problème mu ngi fa waaye ci am na ñoo xam ne gisuñ problème parce que ku mel ni man wax dëgg taxut ne problème moo am waxante dëgg am ànd bu nekk nag foog ngeen toog ngeen take stock ngeen waxante dëgg ngeen continuer waaye du problème amut te du musa am ci kattani yàlla parce que yàlla leen di aar te problème du am foofu noonu di wax ñi ñuy seetaan rek and fancy we are back again on another grand Friday with another grand panelist for another grand show of course with a grand did you get that? I said it 3 times grand guests that you will all love waxtaan bi yëpp nag yi fi Gambia la and of course di leen dalal by the way tey my glam green la verte la waaye verte bi du APRC de ñi mankaal taati de déedéet ñoom seen bos xob bi la xob bi
this is God's color the prophet's color
Oh, see, this is why I love Ablaye. I cannot love this man any less. Yes. APRC is the leaf, that green, that's the APRC. This is God's color, the prophet's color that I'm wearing today. But suma roba bu yange bi, bu simple, elegant, ñawkat bi ñu oyé lay, mu ngi Kanifing Estate moo ma ko ñawal, ne ma yow da nga neex a ñawal parce que yaram bi dafa am chest, dafa am charge. So yow foog ma jël piece ñawal la jox nga sol. Kon laay ma ngi laa wax jërëjëf ak assistant bi biigi si yére bu yanje bu rafet bii nii, like we always say, it's just simple, right? Nothing attached to it. Where I come from, they say it doesn't have to be expensive to be expressive. Okay? Yeah, it can be simple, elegant, and classy, and sassy, and that's what I do today. Keep it simple sometimes.
Thank you so much. Some more tea. Mune mungi dem ak how wona minister bila andal tay
ko gal nono
samo talibo o moya wi yawna talibo de fande ko starude mune minister bila andal ako heci kay taraje that is according to talibo ila dola
lan moy role am fofu nono
adala kije
ala role mu muneti je na tata je ala role mu muneti
is the head of communication at the NPP propaganda unit.
So the position he used to call propaganda secretary, they put him in that position again.
Ala role multi because Talbo mobile, Talbo from PVP, Kanana APRC for deputy governor.
No, that was proposed, but it never proposed.
No, Yalo Talbo.
Oh,
okay. It is Talbo Diaz and the Maronga. I don't know doctor.
I don't know when did because Dr. Milbe Dunia got all like and call a car for Taliban monkey doctor.
It's an insult to our hard work and achievements.
No problem. Sanga ko woni Taliban la. Foy bu ko moy Taliban go ahead. Go la fay.
Bu jelo ni Advertisement. No bu Taliban ala Dr. Talia ujenenda.
Within the political
landscape, yeah, so now academic minister, Yalo, Talibo, President Talibo, like President Judge
Talibo, no, ala life of a minke,
commentary. You must, Yalo Momo Nanu, whether President Kabula Minister from Ghana Town, Kabula Project, no, President Kuala Camera Fitter. So because it's under the command of the president.
What happened to the OB van? I've not seen it anywhere since they've been unveiling. No. The function. Okay, it's not for now.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, I understand.
So I need a house.
No,
more people. No more Joe. We pay how many millions?
We pay
media houses. Where you come with the media household dollar. Media household Joe pray na doko Kenya. That's a society in the Baron goes spell for election.
Possibly they were not paid, that's why he doesn't know. Where you guys paid? Okay, so that's why he didn't know. No, what Carolina Manjo. Never do any more to
so a lot of time woman I didn't minister but maybe I've been at the program.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. So guys, another Friday, the mobile content and we are back again another Friday to have a great conversation about our current issues Bangkok Ganjang. And today in the Mola Sorajami is a special guest, a friend, a comrade. A Pan-Africanist, more Mayalonko, Amamabojang, and I believe when the time comes, Nadiam Tadong Mulbaranko, the kind of person he is, Bangkok Kanjang. When we are talking about national issue, we always want to discuss with people, we believe advocacy is real, and I believe it's one of the youths in this country, Mayalonko, he always speaks his mind, and having him here today, Pula Mayalonko, we are pleased. And I've been co-panelist show, maybe content and Nene, Ablai and Talibo. MC did not come today. Bua, the chief moderator, Bahomo content. This program is a program is one of the most
followed, panel, Banko Kanjang. So Gambians have high hope on us. That is why it's always important when we are on the program, we always reflect our mind. People are watching at us, and Buffalo we are not perfect. Sometimes we do make errors, we do make mistakes, and we don't see ourselves we are the best among those people watching us. It's just that we have the opportunity. That doesn't mean others outside there. So Buffalo any mistake we did or any that is not us. Weakness actually, but anything we did good, that is through the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the CEO of the platform Fatu Kontona or for giving us the opportunity out of millions for us to always be here to talk to the Gambian people. So until then,
all right, thank you, Ablai.
Yalong yemune miss yalong Bubaka Foko na be gesto naka introduce aka Foko na gesto today atoma mabo politicola, right? But in na gesto today atoma mabo human rights cola, defending human rights, atoma mabo fighting for injustice and rule of law, atoma mabo activism cola amanke Gambia damada nakalen ko Africa be anin dulia be Gambia ni Gambia banta ikafo wonyama Gambia ni Gambia banta na guest bale soto jang al si al ye gesto la moy al ya fahamule
similar
ikafo wonyama ngako mo sendima
yes thank you Ablay welcome
thank you Bob me molbe kontona be ngotol nyin be kontona jam ma sister ne bodal men be jam mbe jiver lal na moy lal be kontona mbe duwala bankoye ani ala nyaton kolye mbe duwala mvango la molier, and of course my mom, my dad, everybody, and all those that are doing whatever they are doing to pray for everybody. We also requesting prayers from everyone, every Gambian, but this is not it's not an easy job, and it's very difficult. And to reiterate what Sifo had said, we are human, and man najam because nga lonne, man najam because ntolle londo soto katambi molla. Ala la safe kome mbetagla kek fatule ni awato fanasi ambete bola jara diata nye mandi. Yeah, so sometimes we can have issues and or opinions that are very, not very popular with some people, and that's normal. But we also don't say things because we want to say them. Most of us here take this as worship.
Yeah.
We're doing it out of our candid whatever, between us and our God and our graves. So sometimes we say things that are not very popular with even people that we know. Yes, but they understand that you have the role to analyze or do public commentary. So you cannot bend. Because if you bend, people will know you bend. So you have to say it as it is, and then at a personal level, you know that, of course, if I had the opportunity not to say it, I would not. But because I'm there, I have to say my position. So these are small things. Gambia is bigger than any one of us, and sometimes we have to be straight shooters, and that is it. So that is the situation, and I think the audience understand that, and so on. We ask for prayers, sincerely, we ask for prayers.
Yeah.
Yes.
We ask for prayers.
Next time, don't say we have to be straight shooters. Just say use bias, or we have to call a spade a spade.
Okay, no problem. We will call a spade a spade.
That's the tag word. You call a spade a spade.
You call a spade a spade. Thank you so much. Me tuna program odo wale fe ngal tentu kal je bake kam fatile nabayo kara ala kumandi telephone odo mum wala fta nyeng bay sifara don alsa kumandi no telephone odo kam fatile normally 5523 alsi kam fati sort odo 523-4379 523-4379 alsi kam fati sort no woto abe willing kama gara soro natara al lafta puruka bayo kara ki ala akaw fanan kale na ali a call war number 5234379 bi mbe duna programme to wole fe nga lunta o min soro of course nene ya fole fang already do kol mi alon ko aka wole ke andu konne ya fo nyame bole nyama to mantara ma bor ni nata of course wo domain sol nene mil mention science tenting andu nin camera tan dal balon nale jumale gambe jam mobe ya sutele ni nata ka harma dingol la nyanto kele gambia banko kanjang woto nga Alieu bale soro Alieu fana mo molti mi alon ko adabe gala timo to le kafu mi alon ko wolle lota pour ka je ko tapale ani jenko pour ka kele gambia banko kanjang atabe wo kafu kono le ando science tenting e pamito request le IGP bulu pour adila pour isi protest keno nyame of course pour kodolu mi alon ko wolle allegedly kira mansakunda pour ka je ko wolle senea andongi lugo mutale already bari science intending maybe IGP baru kan ne prokaje ko way pamito dila nga nati wala andu mo len fana mi alon ko of course ya accuse le ko science and KNPP call fana nenne on Facebook after that, so we got to discuss about that too. Alieu, welcome about the Grand Bantaba.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, and I mean, Sonko had to drag me here because I officially don't grant interviews, but you know, Sonko being my friend.
Since 2020, right?
Yes. Since 2020, yes. But also, I just want to make a disclaimer that I'm not here on behalf of Gala as an organization, and that because Gala has a spokesperson and who I believe has been here before. So I'm here in my, I mean, of course, you cannot separate me from the organization in any way, shape or form, but that just, you know how like when you see, if you contribute like a write-up to a certain magazine and you see they will make a disclaimer that these views are not the views of the
news outlet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing I'm doing, that whatever I say here doesn't officially, it's not officially Gala. It is me speaking, even though they, that's, I just wanted to put that out there. But I'm content. So we get into it.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Alieu Badi. So, so since 2020, I'm one interview. So, ndole lokita kasoro. Lafta na call start daming science and ten. Kafu do fana wiltale. Media long ko press conference kele mantara kontan din minna. Welem ID card le bendi kan gambe bantala. Ya start Mauritania le no. Ngamera pareda odole sign banku fula do ye welem mention media long ko immigrational Gambia immigrational nyanta kata woldo. Pour kata ID card di Gambia di wala milbe woto. Mune mela reaction towards that.
What understand about this whole ID card drive is, I feel like ID card is an internal document. It's an internal national document. It is not tenderable in a country outside, maybe Gambia and Senegal because of the relationship that we have. But it will be, it kind of, it's very weird. Like, you don't imagine me in Gabon, for example, which is not even in ECOWAS, using the Gambian ID card as a national document that can protect me there. That's what passports are for. So what I don't understand is, why is the government of the Gambia very adamant about ID cards outside the Gambia and not passports? Because passports are documents that you use externally. Ni fundita Gambia, ebe min tendalano as a valid document from your country of origin is a passport. So I feel before we even get into why they're issuing ID cards, I mean, there's a lot of speculation about why exactly they're doing it, which I will not get into because I don't know anything about that. But what I do know is, the first thing they should answer is why ID cards are not passports.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if they answer that question, then we can get into all of that. But I feel like it's very confusing and it's very weird that they will just go out there issuing ID cards, you know, where to people who actually need passports.
So a lot of people, especially mile press conference kuno, ministry nyeng petition ka for coming like stop kadi, but jamal min faka wole mjende ko political ba koma like elafta ka ID card de nyilla so that these people can come back your voters card so to police vote no election or nyameng, because there are a lot of people in the Gambia media lonko Wolfoma ID cards. Do you think it has any connection with that?
I don't know. I will not take anything beyond Barrow right now in his desperate attempt to win the election. I think it's capable of winning. But like I'm saying, this is not, all of this is speculation. It is not established. But going by the political trajectory of this country from 1965 down, I mean, it's any surprising, that they're capable of doing that. Because there's literally, why do I need an ID card outside the Gambia? So whatever they're doing, whatever they're cooking, I know there's a very sinister motive. We don't know what the motive is, but we know that and there's nothing good that's going to come out of it. So yeah.
So do you think oppositional victory when it comes to this ID card issuance Gambia Bantaba, because most of them they are silent about it. Do you think the opposition is weak?
I think the question we should be asking, does Gambia really have an opposition?
Bingo.
We do. Yeah.
What we do have is a host of political parties that are very vibrant when there is a crisis or when there is an election. So we have an opposition that is very crisis-driven, just as the government of the Gambia is, very crisis-driven. They're not like proactive in the creation of a new country, An opposition have to be an institution that don't only hold the government to account. That is one thing the opposition needs to do. But the other thing is we need an opposition culture that also creates, a newness. Like you should be able to replicate the society or the country that you claim you are going to create, And most of the time, we don't see that happening. I mean, this is not like a diss or like a disrespect to political parties in this country. But I feel the opposition really need to take a very deep look at themselves and why. I mean, Barrow has the audacity to threaten Gambians that nobody should literally say anything about him seeking a title. The audacity. The president of this country can have the audacity to threaten the masses of the Gambian people precisely because we don't have that culture of dissent, and that's what the NPP has now embarked on. This thing of silencing dissent and making dissent look like it's something that it's out of place, and that's true. Gambia doesn't actually. Gambia's culture of dissent, it's so meager and so sad. Mostly our idea of dissenting from the government is basically to insult each other online, to complain, these things. But this thing of like rooting it within a democratic ethos where the questions that are rooted in reality, in reason, in clarity, not in just sentimentalism and vibes and inshallah, that's
like that.
What am problem with the sign? In the opposition, Baroko Bulijana Kumovo, I tell Gamianola, Femoka Fundako. Niaja na opposition, most of the time then they respond because their interest is threatened. Not because the Obala interest is threatened, for example. So I feel like Gambia is in a phase where there's more questions than answers. And unless we ask those questions and we have the courage to answer them, I'm not surprised that the opposition will not be so proactive in this ID card thing. I'm sorry that I digress.
All right, it's okay. Nene, what is your reaction about this ID card issue?
Passionate. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to align, to Alieu, right? But first of all, even before I go there, let me give you your flowers, Alieu. The other day we were chatting and I sent you a picture, right? Of, I can't even remember what protest that was. Just to show you, we've been, how to call it, there's been alignment of interests for a very long time, advocating for issues of national interest and advocating for people at all levels, right? Most specifically when it comes to injustice and corruption and human rights issues and all that. And I mean, I love this word consistency. When I talk mostly, I look at that, in everything that I do. And I want to sit here and tell the world, you know, Alieu is the epitome of consistency in terms of his advocacy. He loves what he does. He is very passionate, and he believes in what he does, and he stands for it, and doesn't look back, cannot be wavered or swayed by pressure or influence or closeness. And that is something that a lot of people should learn from, myself and so many other people. So many people, you see them stand on an issue, look deep, you will see the interior agenda that is shrouded why they are talking. In the absence of that, they will not do it, or they are not involved. But in the case of Alieu, I can honestly, with within my heart, say that's not the case. Everything he does, you don't see himself but the people. You don't see himself but the citizenry, humanity, which I just wanted to say it's what emulating, it's commendable, and honestly, it's epic. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you know, I love you. and doing stuff with him is a breath of fresh air, honestly, because you see the genuineness and everything else that comes with it. You should look up to you. I mean, not everybody is gonna like you, because when you're too brutally honest, unapologetically, you know.
Right.
Somebody like Booba might not like it, but you know, Alieu is like, I don't give a flying fuck. I'm gonna do me anyway. So keep doing your thing. I love you. So many people love you. Yal na sa jama yaga. Pana ñaan soxla nga ko li olof de wax rek ñay do ko ñaanal reuy dang ko ñaanal gudda fan. Yow yal na nga am gudda fan, yal na la yalla ar ir la. So now coming back to the issue of this ID cards, we've been talking about it. Again, the question is these countries that they mentioned, because ID card be normally. So then remember, being introduced with this same, like they say ECOWAS ID card.
Yes.
You can use it within ECOWAS countries. They say there is a chip. I don't know whether the chip scans.
Said a lot of things
machine readable.
Machine readable. But I've never seen it being read anywhere or whatever the case is. Honestly, I still ask that question. So now, if you're going beyond the ECOWAS countries to say, Nanga issue ID card, because so Guinea outside of Gambia, what you should be using is passport. Now ECOWAS, they want to make it easy amongst themselves, right? Because it's the ECOWAS countries, and say we will accept ID cards amongst each other. But beyond that, I think they saw that, I mean, ID card again outside of Gambia, so one guy amsa passport is very, very important. So soon them the issue documents outside of the country, but I feel they want to invest in issue passport. Because in the West, everywhere else, ñi fa dëkka yaaga fa, especially ñi dee demee the back way, or ñi fa nekk amanguñ kayit mënanguñoo ñëw te most of them dañ dee soxla ay passport. You write to the embassy, so they give you emergency passport, not the real passport. So that could have been justifiable a little bit, you know. But to say we're going to go give ID card, there is a lot of clarity that needs to be done. There are a lot of gray areas, boo xam ne, you know, the press release I saw is to notify the people that this is going to be done, or it is being done, and all that, like they did in Mauritania. Again, being in Mauritania, man, how man definitely a follow-up to inform the citizenry how the process went, how many people were registered, how many people could not be registered because, and why they could not be registered. That is important. We deserve to know. I don't know if that was done. I haven't seen it. So if they haven't done that, and yet then you continue them seeing in countries. So you leave people to speculate and have a lot of, you know, assumptions and opinions on the issue. Again, from the directive, you have the immigration, but then the immigration is under the Minister of Interior, right? Okay, is it just the immigration, you just joke like them? Because in Mauritania, the request came from Mauritania. But these are supposed to be policy issues. The Minister of Interior. But beyond that, the Parliament. Because this is the national documents. They are the lawmakers. What is their take in regards to this issue? What are they doing, Binko Dege, to make sure it is in line with our national documents, in line with the Constitution? We are not giving the ID card to people who are not supposed to get it. We are giving it to people who are, you know, deserving of it. A lot of things, but kuneka mungi to, kom niko kiwahe. Tay, opposition binya warona deal a lead in this, because it is to their interest to ensure if the government is trying to register non-Gambians, because when it comes to elections, these people are going to vote for them, they should be speaking against it. Again, in terms of the laws being violated, the due process being followed, you understand, the policies maybe not in place for such to happen, why are they not talking about it? And when I say all the time, Barrow is doing everything possible to prepare and be the next president, continue, not the next president, he's already the president, continue to be the president after 2026, and the opposition continues to do nothing but only be reactionary if you touch them. They are like just balloons. You touch them with a little bit of heat, when a puff touch. Or you have a little bit of pain or roughness on your clothes. You come close to them, puff, touch them. That's all they do. But anything that has to do with Gambia and development and sustainability of the country, our laws, they are not doing that. And it's rather unfortunate. That's my little take on that, Boba.
All right, Bayo. So, I'm going to tell a reaction about this ID card issue in the Mauritania and other countries.
Yeah, thank you so much, Buba. I mean, when you are in Kumara Bagel and there is a youth group also, they just did a press conference talking about the ID card issue. For me,
which group is that?
I mean,
it's led by Haji.
Yeah,
and you have what is the name?
Who's
again? Haji Swane.
Oh, it's a pressure group.
Yeah, it's more of a
or concerned citizens.
Yeah, but it's more of a pressure group now because it's already a group. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the press conference locally, I mean, Kunung, concern solve regarding the national ID card.
And they petitioned the ministry.
And they also petitioned the ministry. Yeah. Because yala binyame mbeya kalam don njande the immigrations etaro Mauritania le kabita Mauritania. Before they go to Mauritania, actually the information was out, and there were other political parties they actually wrote about it, and government why government has to do this. But like I said, here people will write, people will protest, and at the end of it we see no results, and yet still we don't have a solution of what next to do. Itara Mauritania, when they came from Mauritania, actually they made a press statement saying that the number of ID cards they actually issued at Mauritania.
Immigration,
immigration actually they did that when they came from Mauritania. ID card DJ.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah. They actually made that press release immediately after they returned from Mauritania. Okay. So, but it happens, So, I mean, they feel like.
So, you don't register Mauritania, do you know? Or you don't remember?
If I remember, it's about 200 plus. That's what they said. About 200 or so.
200,000?
No, people.
200 people.
Yeah,
okay,
people.
all right. Okay.
Plus, I think.
Wow.
It's around that numbers. Yes, and I could make it. If you go to their page
you see.
Okay,
I will check
you
that
will see it because they put it there.
So,
and then like nothing happened. So the next thing is to move to another country.
Yeah, but that's why people are blaming you, the opposition, now.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually be with Alieu in that analysis. You understand? We have oppositions, we have a government, but now I mean the oppositions are us. The opposition, you understand? Like when I say opposition are we, you understand? You see, to have an active political party here, I think it has to do with the people in that political party, the people in the country. Because remember, I believe whoever believes that the government is not doing good, you are an opposition. At that stage, you are an opposition to the government, government opposition already. So I mean, and it's a group of oppositions who can actually, form a party and make sure you advocate Kula Meya Lonko, is against the government also. And, it's against, some of the policies Meya Lonko government is doing, and these policies are policies Meya Lonko, they don't actually follow. I'm favor Dobal or Bankudun at some point. So political parties, yes. For me, I can actually believe this goal. The political parties are not up to expectation. That is quite true, you understand? Some political parties are doing their bit, truly speaking, because like I said, for me, my political party, UDP, they actually made a press statement, regarding this national identity card, they actually made a press statement, but after the press statement, what else, you understand? People were having this is what we expect. Some people were saying, it is important, like the inter-party committee, your petition, your government, somebody to the court to take for an injunction. Government be embarked on government because for me I see it illegal. Because one thing like Alieu, you see, passport, that's what they need.
But as we are speaking, 2017, 2018, there was an agreement called Semlex, and what they told us all, Semlex is going to be a biometric system. So we expect, I said, look, a biometric system will be normally, every Gambian embassies, you understand, an immigration officer or a consular officer should be there. They can get access to the data here, or should be there. Gambians will go there to kill a fingerprint roller. Even the printing is coming to happen here. If you self-semlex me yasamanang, or they actually believe in this biometric systems, go our borders, na border solto. You understand? There should be, the system need to be there. Go, the system need to be decentralized. Wherever Gambians are, they can able to get access to that system. They can able to register. That is what actually need to happen. So basically, Nigel semlex nata. Follow. How many years Semlex have been here? No other branch. Only one branch. Semlex World, only Banjul. So passport was not decentralized. It was only Banjul. So Bangkok can follow. You are saying that you are going out. How many people are in this country? Bangkok and Jang. They need identity card, and they could not have it. And the worst thing is now telling us, now this identity card will be cardi outside. These people are not paid. Why are they not paying? When citizens,
it's for free.
Yeah, it's for free. It's for free. So now who is paying for them? Where are they getting that money? Is that money accounted? Is that money in our budget? This is one of the things so this is why I believe there might be an ulterior motive, a negative motive behind issuance of our national identity card outside. And I always say this. Look, national identification card, maybe Alieu is a traveler, maybe he might know it. I never a national identification card. It can be outside the country. National identification card long. Right? A passport. You can have it in your embassies because there, where you have consulars there. As we are speaking, Gambia, do you know? As we are speaking, in embassies, there is no immigration attaches. As we are speaking, during Gambia time, there were some immigration attaches in some of the embassies. As we are speaking, they are not there because they recall all of them. It's only consulars, and those consulars, some of them are even politicians. You understand? They actually doesn't have any knowledge about immigration system. So Gambia, the system, I keep saying this. Funding, for example, we are growing. We now understand the future of this country. You understand? We should put all our differences aside and try to form a solution. All these problems may abe cake and Bangkok and abe stop. But like I heard from Alieu, if the president can come out and say words against Banku Dungulu, try to silence Banku Dungulu, and after saying that Banku, everyone is quiet, after saying that no action. So this is what is going to continue, and this is exactly what actually continues. Corruption still continuing because corruption. Let me tell you the basic of corruption in Barra's government. The basic of corruption in Barra's government is, let's say, the Janet Commission, for example. You understand? People who have been in the Janet Commission today are the same people. They're working in this government. So those who are in the government, for example, those who are might be doing this corrupt action and the like, so they have seen that those who were wanted at the Janet Commission are today working in the government scot-free. So come on, before the time over, I will. So there is no variety. So there is no better direction for our country. And you see, when Barrow was government 2017, how old was Gambia? And today, how old is Gambia? So, Gambia but and without getting what actually we want. Singapore, we have an independence with Singapore.
The same year.
So now, let's look at Singapore. What actually did Singapore did to have Singapore be at a level mentor? What are we doing? So, this is business. It's not about you being in MPP, you being in UDP, you being in GDP, you being in whatever. It's about Banku Dumul now. We reflect our minds. We have no other place like home. That is why you can have billions outside over there in the diaspora, and they like that those people in the diaspora seeing you with that billion, you understand, will not still make you that much proud than your home. So let's put hands together. Nana Banko Doku. Let's put our differences aside. Najoko, I mean, we have only one Gambia, and this one Gambia should only be developed by us, the citizens.
Thank you. Ablai?
Thank you. I think for me, I have personally decided that any public engagement I have, part of the first things I will do is one, to tell the Coastal Road market is very bad, the road is still bad, it's very bad. We should do something.
Very, very bad.
Second, to ask Gambians to come together. I want to second 3-4. We will not be lucky, and we will not do justice to the generations to come if we don't come together as a country, as a people. It doesn't matter. These colors have been here before us. In some countries, green is opposition. In other countries, green is ruling party. So these colors are nothing. They are just for identification. Just like Ablai. It doesn't mean anything, basically. Because you name me after Ablai, servant of Allah, means I am a servant. You have Ablai that are, not servants in one way or the other. Probably myself, I'm included, So let's forget about this dogmatism and whatever. No. Let's come together. Gambia needs to be rescued. It needs to be salvaged. So basically that is it. And I think Gambian movement international together, President Barrow is our barrier, is our blockade. As far as we can see at the moment. Yes, tomorrow we don't know, but that is the main thing. So let's get that obstacle out. Now, commenting on the
ID card.
You see, I don't know for what reason. Maybe our prayers have not been accepted,
Somehow.
Yes, somehow. Countries are moving away from this duplication. Passport, this and that. Ghana, they have what they call Ghana card. In replacement of some of these silly things that every day you had, Ghana card has basically everything that the bank wants, that the immigration wants, and security what they want. Basically, it's there. You just place it, cook. It tells you everything basically that is needed. You don't have to get a passport, voter, You see, I told you, Buba, I read something called Lean Six Sigma. I'm a green belt holder. But Gambians don't know it anyway. So most people, sorry to say that. Most people.
Green belt means what?
You have first white belt. That's the left first level.
I don't know.
I'm coming.
So
It's a qualification of its own, but what it does is called process excellence, meaning you streamline, you eliminate waste in processes. For example, the waste that we are talking about here is you are having TIN card, you are having voter's card, ID card, passport, driver's license, and whatever. Come on, technology is advanced.
It's advanced.
We can have all the information that we need embedded in one, and all you do is scan it. And you know everything that you want to know specifically.
You understand?
You understand? Yeah. So it's like you're wasting. And as far as Lean Six Sigma is concerned, that is what is called waste. Waste is anything that doesn't add any value. Okay? But that is a whole thing of its own. But now look at it from this point. I don't like the idea of these many things when we can have it. That's one aspect. Now coming to this, in fact, after doing the registration at Mauritania and issuing these ID cards, that is what we call diplomatic bilateral collapse. Tanzania went to negotiate how you regularize the Gambians that are there, but Mauritania is no more accepting the Gambian ID card. And they are, raiding Gambians all over. Go to Alcamba Times, they covered it. Just after, the pilot project was Mauritania. But it failed. It failed because Mauritanian authorities are not accepting it and they are raiding them. But that is the name now, National ID card.
Yeah. It's
international passport.
It's for the Gambia.
Yeah, so I don't know how you could convince the Mauritanians to accept that and for what reason? Okay, why don't you give them passport then in replacement of all these, whatever you want to call it? Why would you go to arrange with Mauritanians ID card where accept them when you can give passport that can be accepted all over? It doesn't make any strategic sense, diplomatic sense, except it makes sense for election rigging potentially. That is the truth. So if the first pilot project, as far as I know, is concerned, which is Mauritania, that has failed. Because Gambians there go to Alcamba Times. are complaining and they have been raided. Some of them are not even going to work because if they go out, they just catch you and then whatever they want to do with you, they do.
You know, Buba, Bojang, when that story came, you know, I was talking to somebody and the person was also concerned, like, legi dem nañ Mauritania, joxe nañ ID card, ba tey ñu ngi téye suñ xale yi. Kon lan mooy woon njëriñ bi pour ñu dem foofu noonu ak the logistics and everything else lim àndal. So the person mu ne, toog leen foofu nekk fi si mu si diaspora toog leen foofu noonu rek ngeen di caaxaan xam nga da ngeen xeeb baro mu ngeen def liggéeyam de. So now people they were thinking from day one that it was not the interest of the Gambians that are there that they claim or allege. It is for a specific purpose. So now if you give them the ID card and they cannot even use it there, what's the point?
What is the point?
After incurring a lot of money and all that, now people will think, okay, liñ doon wax ñëw na ID card ñu ngi ko téye suñ paree ñooy dellusiwaat fii nii ne am na ID card am a Gambian, and then looking for possibly voter's card or possibly look for passport and now have benefits and privileges that you and I, who are legitimate Gambians, ñu am pour xëccoo
We're struggling to even
that
have
has to
it.
do with Gambia.
At some point, we cannot even print it. Ba léegi ñu ngay dem di joxe bitim réew. And you have more Gambians here that have that immediate need for that, but they cannot even get served. Comme si you see, there is nothing basically that we are doing to help our people as a government. Basically nothing. Because if we cannot even get access to get a passport or whatever, at least a few years ago, in Fonyi, in Basse, there is no need. So the government is a Banjul, for example, government. Banjul not as in Banjulians, but let's assume the location.
Greater Banjul.
Yeah. So that
the passport decentralization, is it effective? Is it being implemented now? Can people get passport?
I got reports that yes, people actually go and get whatever, but the printing usually is done here and so kind of transport.
Oh, okay,
that's what I got.
Okay.
How authentic that is, I don't know, because I've never gotten any passport from outside. I go to Banjul and queue like people, right? That is not okay.
This is clear that you move policy decision. It's a policy decision, so that means this is coming from the top. It's not even just the immigration saying, okay, yeah,
the officers might just be implementing, right?
Yes, they're just implementing. Saying, I think it is very, very important. We have opposition in this country. We have Hani Manke Fenkori, but we have a lot of people, you know, they want to protect the integrity of this country. So you are observing, you are seeing that this is a policy issue. That means it is either coming from State House or coming from the ministry itself. You have immigration or like so they're just doing that job. What are they doing it for? So there are a lot of questions me along go science and oppositional nyanta nyinin kalale. Nyimu banko leti me along ko manjam for Gambia. Who is in Burtania right now? We have Sekuba Jaju there. No more but he's a politician. Sekuba Jaju le bije science and tending. And you look at other countries, Jumal le bije right now. But so I think opposition should be very, very mindful. They are silent about it, but I think they should talk about it. Yes, I don't know. It's a very serious thing.
I want to comment on that. Remember, Bankoto is basically an opposition that is very kind of dormant. Right? That is the truth. Okay, I will give you space.
No, you can go ahead.
Now, what happens is, I don't think it's even only the opposition that should talk about this.
Yes.
If our national security office or apparatuses are not politicized, they are not political actors, they should be the force to actually talk to the Gambians about the implications, ramifications. Because in national security, I'm not talking about the orthodox, but as far as international relations, diplomacy is concerned, national security has many elements. And part of the elements is called political security. How our documents are secure affects how our politics is secure. You see, for example, there is a gap in party financing or political financing. Drug lords can finance UDP, for example. I'm not saying they are doing that. They are not interested in politics, but they want UDP to be there, and then UDP will do their bidding. Now, if you give our documents outside, when even internally in the Gambia, let us be frank, we have issues where, like the diplomatic pass, we have seen non-Gambians issued diplomatic pass. And we have also rumors and they are not Gambians. How so are we? What is the security measure that they are not even giving it to Mauritanians who will come and vote here?
Exactly.
When internally we cannot even level up. So it tells you there are a lot of lapses in this, and it affects our political security. And I always tell Gambians, you like it or not, with this framework of a country, you are going to have a Lebanese rule you here. For example, I'm not calling Lebanese to be xenophobic or no, for our common understanding, because a Tuareg, people say, who is a Tuareg? Because we don't know, probably, or most don't know. You will have him rule you, and you cannot do anything about it, because of the framework that we have. So when you have national security advisor to the president, and you have the national security apparatus, or the commission or the council of national security, don't say a word about this, then it means factors and elements of national security generally of the Gambia are somehow being compromised. And that means potentially you will have a lot of issues. And these issues cause fight. One of the fights that occurred in Ivory Coast, Ouattara and Gbagbo, part of it is because Ouattara, you are not from here. Let's be frank. How many people died? It's because of some of these lapses. And that is why I've written articles, and part of it is, the border security of our country, if it's not taken care of, is a direct threat to our national security. And this is the truth, and that is what we have seen unfolding. So for me, I have no evidence that this is politically motivated, but from the circumstances, my, deduction would be, come on, this has a political lens. Even if it is not now, potentially, the fight people will come in and decide on our behalf. To stop that, the opposition need to be very observant, proactive, and come together. And before we move, there is a misconception regarding this matter. You see, when you tell some people, you see, national documents, they are very valuable. When you some certain segment of our country, and you heard on our national documents, the security for our documents, believe it, they don't vote for you. That's the truth. You see, there is a lot of hypocrisy around in this country. I'm sorry. I'm a Gambian, and I am part of that hypocrisy, right? So I'm not trying to defame or whatever anyone. But you see, the problem is this. People don't vote based on what is actually needed. Interest, right? Some people want our cards, national or passport or whatever. They're all printed on cards. Now, if you are a politician and you are talking about that, you are enemy number one. But they will say, no, this is the reason why. But the reality is because you are going to make sure our national documents are secured. That is the problem of some political parties in this country. That's why people are not supporting them. It's not because of they don't have agenda. That's the truth. So we need to have President Barrow come, have the leadership to make sure these things are done properly. I don't have any problems with Gambians abroad who are Gambians getting access to these national documents. But the manner in which it is done, first, Mauritania has failed. Mauritania will accept. Even though they had a lot of bilateral high-level engagements.
And we are going to other countries now. So
why are we doing that?
531 Gambians will be Mauritania, you will enroll. 531. But they were able to print 389 you will print, and now the remaining 142 applications, so it will print. So at least 531 Gambians will be ID card or something like that.
When was the statement? Can you read the one?
Yeah, the statement was on 5th May. This was on 5th May. 5th of May, yeah. So you see, so these are a lot of Gambians really along with ID card or something. So I think Beminkela don't be that topic do saying mialonko mba kachala walem of course gala mialonko be parendiro ke kam protest la mialonko ilafta wale ke la Gambia banko kan janko Alieu ya fo nyamen kabara be programme on dati la mantra siri jang galae bari ate amum membalti je abi siri jang pour ka diamo afan sun kola Gambia koto atemu molti mi alon ko nala kilo ba kando nga dabe no mol ko le mi alon ko ye mutale no ye soron kabrim protest follow keta janning ibe bulalano Well, Alieu, Alieu announced leko Alkana protest le la koreke. Nyim Alkana mune protest again.
Yeah, saying. Mbara nga fengo fongo bandi kodi.
Okay.
Yalong. Iko nibe diamula kafoto yalo.
Ha.
Ay sene kodi.
Yes.
Kavola kuola, not kavoto ya.
Yeah, kavola kuola.
Manga mandinga de.
Kavola
But the way you're fluent in Mandinka, right? it's amazing.
Dobal la kuo.
Dobal la kuo. Saying, the protest, we are protesting against the Russian oil scandal report. Malpractices exposed by the National Audit Office, malpractices exposed in GT board staff petition and confirmed by the National Assembly 2023, malpractices exposed in the GPA corruption report of National Assembly 2023, malpractices exposed in the following audit reports: the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital Audit Report 2021, IEC Audit Report 2024, Audit Funds Report 2023. So I guess you get the idea.
Yeah.
There's a whole list. And anybody who is really interested in that can go to the...
Alia published already.
It's on the gala page.
Now, I'll be fenkol follow kan. Mo be faka wole mnyindiko. First protest Alia kele. Alia success do soro jele. But ale mimbe listen fo nyimmansia pour ka nyimbe achieve.
Yala yuko. Iko ni be ikafanya dele. Ni be fala.
Ye fa batem.
Ni be fa batem ko. Saying the whole point is it's not we're not like even nitpicking, and basically we're saying that the very edifice of this government is corrupt. Yeah? So all of these are just indicators of what we are actually fighting. Yeah? These are superstructural issues, but the base of the thing itself is corruption. Yeah? This is just to show what is really happening. You know, all this list. But at the core of it, what we are saying is that Gambia should begin a new day without corruption being so endemic, being so accepted, being so normalized, you know, again. That we need a new society. So these are not, it's not like we are protesting because of this list. We are protesting, these are indicative of why we are protesting. I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, basically that's it. I don't want to lengthen this.
Okay. So saying, in regards to this protest, ale permito apply le.
Yes.
You know, first time Cabrera the first protest, ale permito apply le, permito dial then al nara findi wanara problem o nati. This time fanang alia apply le. Nalma soro, are we going to see gala ale findi proka protest again?
It's very clear. Again, I'm not speaking on behalf of
I know, yeah.
This is an individual opinion. I don't even agree with this permit business in the first place, yeah? So this is what happens. The Public Order Act was put in place to, it was a colonial law in 1955 against, you know, there is this narrative that Gambians didn't fight for their independence, that it was handed to them in Lancaster House, which is not true. It's not a true narrative. Because the trade unions, you know, we remember people like Jalo Jalo, who was leading the trade unions. They shut down this country. You know, in '63, for example, this country was, there was a national boycott of work by civil servants, teachers even, you know. So it was because of that the Public Order Act was created to crack down on people fighting for their self-determination and liberation. Now it's so shameful that in 2025, in this country, that prides itself of being independent from colonialism and all such things that deter people's sovereignty, still hold on to this law, which clearly contravenes the spirit of the Constitution of the Gambia, Section 25 of the Constitution, that we have the right, the freedom of assembly, you know. So legally, we should seek for a permit. Morally, it is despicable that we have this law. And my stance has always been a moral stance. I don't have the power to effect change, political power. What I do have is a moral sort of
duty.
Yes, a moral duty to the people of my land, being one of them, you know. So for me, it's very clear. The line has been drawn. with a permit or without a permit, I'm going out there. My right to protest has been guaranteed by the Constitution of the Gambia, by all human rights documents that protect the civil and political rights of citizens that Gambia has ratified. So it's not even, for me, it's not open to discussion. Yeah, but we have divergence of opinions in Gala. There are people who want
So people believe that Nalmon Pamiro Sural Kanata.
There are people who, of course, I mean, it's a group of educated people.
Yeah.
People have there are people within Gala who, for them, it's a permit or no show. And there are people who are like, with or without a permit, we're going to go out.
So what was agreed at the meeting? That even without a permit, you will go, or I'll be able to a permit, sort of?
When the permit is denied, then we will communicate accordingly.
Accordingly. So, more than you fucking wale mindiko, ali fenjamale less jang. But you know, council sol fana ibuko corruption or bijele. Why are you not talking about that?
Those are ongoing, no? Well, how would you?
The people are saying there, or the reports may filter, but you know, you people not list that.
But
So
it's
the
still
thing
inconclusive.
is, it's you know, we see there's a lot of detractors. Yeah? There's a lot of people. They don't really care whether there is corruption in the councils. Yeah, what they really care about is how much can we detract these people from what they are really fighting. We know where the problem is. There is corruption in every department in this country. Whether it's the local government, central government, embassies abroad, everywhere you go, there is corruption. There is a rot everywhere. Yeah? But, so a lot of people are saying, oh, they didn't mention this because it's politically motivated, oh, Gallas is part of BCC, and it's never been about that. And anybody who is genuine knows that we are not, there is no favoritism here. You know, I don't care that Bayo is at Brikama Area Council. I don't care that Gallas is at Banjul or anybody is anywhere. That's never been our style. At least that's never been my style. Yeah. But the point is, we started this crusade around the looted assets. The Jame, these are not even Jame's assets. These are Gambian people's assets. This is the people's wealth that was stolen by Jame. And these people also went and made a historic looting of the wealth of the Gambian people. Now, that list is not even out, because when we went out, we were asking for the list, yeah? They have constituted a special select committee, which is already in session, yeah? We respect that. We will see how that will turn out. But in the meanwhile, they're talking about KMC, people are talking about 7 million. We're talking about 300 million from the Gambia Port Authority. Do you know that there was a corruption scandal at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital? I want Gambians to think about this. Moye si loptano, ay loptano lokoro sunya. Ay wokoro ta ay ta ya sambala so ko na ya dingol balundi wor. Yan advertisement mol katara jela mol. And you remember that time, there was not even bags to put blood in.
Yeah.
Blood bags, yeah.
Water.
There's time, I mean, I've been to RBTH, because the beds are not even enough. That place is a complete mess. Those nurses are struggling, those doctors are struggling day in, day out. There's somebody there who sat, in a situation like that. But no, we are so fixated because for us, it's always been this partisan politics. It's always been about, oh, UDP is doing this, or PDIS is doing that, GDC is doing that, APRS is doing that. And nah, I mean, we have to reach a point where it's either we salvage the soul of this country, or we just perish in our useless and utterless complaints that we always do. Every time there's a corruption scandal in the country, what do? We go, we complain about it on social media, oh, what's on Gambia writes about it, and then we complain, and then Barrow does something, we forget about this one, we jump onto this one.
Yeah.
So we're saying, we are creating a consistent and ruthless attack against corruption in this country. That is not, there is no fear, there is no favor. Alieu, I don't owe loyalty to Adam Barrow, to Halifa Saleh, to any, even not any, I owe loyalty to only the masses of the Gambian people. That is my conviction and my commitment to this country. So if anybody is found wanting, then this fire will also burn you. So it's I mean, this
so
is.
you are
a
waiting for
distraction.
councils for any parade at any time, then you're coming after them.
No,
If
I mean,
they are
you
found.
see, you know, things can also change. If there's overwhelming evidence of overwhelming corruption, we are already unfolding. Like we've seen in Banjul already, which is very unfortunate. So, I mean, things change as we move. But Gala is one little organization. People are saying that we should go after the council. Why can't they go out?
Right.
We are not like tasked. It's not like it's a government commission that was set up to protest. We're not getting paid for this. We're doing it because we are so concerned about corruption. We're not professionals. I have a job. A lot of people at Gala have their own jobs. But they do this, I get arrested, you know, get thrown in the cells. I don't get paid for it. I do it out of love for country. Now, those people who are so concerned about what is happening at council, why can't they also start their own group and go and protest about it? And then they care, because the moment you pick your phone to write about it, oh, why is Gala not talking about the council? You care, right? Then you go and fight for your country. Let everybody, let there be 10,000 protests in this country. Maybe that will actually, Gala alone cannot, come on.
Your protest is a right. But if you are doing that, Munana Ikoye NPP in the cause, why will you insult someone for supporting a political party?
So what I said was very clear, yeah? It was very clear. I can actually recite it. What I said was, if you support Barrow, yeah, you're either sellout or you're ignorant of issues. These are the two, for me personally, yeah? There's two things. Anybody who supports Barrow is either, I mean, I have close friends who support Barrow, yeah? Who, if they really know what is going on in that government, you will not have the heart to support a person like that. Ignorance can also feed fear.
But that F word, do you think it doesn't fit there?
No, the F word is used all over the world as emphasis. So you see, there is a part where I say, if you want to moralize this, and the only thing you see, because I mentioned hunger, yeah, I mentioned corruption, I mentioned a couple of things that are in this country. So you saw hunger, that is not your problem. And you saw corruption, that is not your problem. The F word is where you draw the line, really. And you're willing to die on that hill.
But why will you use it at that moment?
I use it because it's that sort of frustration. I would not, you know, I mean, some of you know me on a personal level. I am not considered a rude person. Nobody who knows me will tell you Alieu is very rude or Alieu is arrogant. No. But it was a show of frustration. When people use words, the F word is known, that's why they call it the F-bomb. It's for emphasis. I use this as emphasis. I was not like going out of my way to insult people. But this is what they saw. Because that's what I said. If you want to moralize this, you have a lot of work to do. And the last paragraph was, if you are a person of troubled conscience, come out on the 22nd, let's protest. So the thing is, I apologized for it. I did a follow-up post because the people were like, oh,
you deleted it. You were forced by Gala to delete that post? Or?
No. It was a discussion between me and people who are, you know,
within the group? Or other people?
Gala and outside Gala. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I mean, I made an apology, which is there. But if people are so fixated on that, then, and we saw the kind of people who were fixated. Because we all knew who would be fixated on the F word. It is people who felt hurt because what was said there is true. You know, those people who have made
they
it
said it's their right to support any political
right.
party.
It's also my right to say you are a sellout. And
yes,
and F
but
word,
don't use the F word. That's what they say.
Yes, that is my opinion, right? That's coming from me. And if you consider it an insult, then I mean, insult is even an opinion from a person, and then it's overstepping certain limitations in what we will call a decent society. Yeah, that is understandable because we are supposed to live in a civil, society, you know, with civility and all of those things. But my point was that it was born out of deep frustration and anger. That, you know, I wrote that thing at night. I was sitting and, you know, I was sitting somewhere and I overheard this person talking about, you know, how the rains, you know, how people are losing their houses.
It's messing up,
You know, I just thought about it. I'm like,
And look at these people and what they are doing in this country. The wreckage, you know, the wreck they leave behind, you know, the complete wretchedness in this country. So the people who are fixated on the F word, we know that they are the people who it was aimed at. That's why
and
so
they are advocating for you to be arrested. For police only call
no.
if
no, the police didn't call.
They did not call.
I wish they will. Because it is, I mean, since when is the F word illegal in this country? Then the police themselves should arrest themselves, because we all know how the police are on these roads.
Oh, yeah.
They use the F word.
Oh, they F you, the effing thing all the time on the, to anybody. But you wanted to interject, you wanted to say something, I don't know, before you lose your thought.
Yeah, I wanted to say, sometimes, just let me just make this clear. You see, when the Honorable Dabo said, do or die, you know, people said blood. That means blood. No, it's persistence. Meaning you're going to do it even if you are going to fail. You're going to hold on to it. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you have to shed blood. You see, sometimes we use words and we don't know their meanings. Yes, I understand the context meaning of a word could be there. I understand contextual word application is there. But sometimes let us just look at things from that perspective. But I wanted him to, from his, because he's the guy who got deposed, what is his definition of sellout? Because I don't think it's wrong to say somebody betrayed this country. I don't think it's an insult to say you betrayed us.
I think the problem
now,
is
that the case with sellout?
So when I say you are a sellout for supporting Barrow, it's first of all, you know exactly what is happening. Yeah? All those people who are in NPP, supporting NPP, I mean, the educated ones amongst them, know that there is huge and endemic corruption in this country. You will have to be a fool to not see what is happening in this country. You will have to, so a sellout, so I come from the Marxist tradition. I'm a Marxist, yeah, I'm a Marxist-Leninist. And within Marxism, in the left, we talk about opportunism. Now, when Marxists use the word opportunism, it is very different from the usual way people use it. Oh, it's an opportunist. An opportunist in Marxism is someone who knows the theory and practice of revolution and still goes and sells out. That is what an opportunist is. Now, somebody who doesn't know and they support the government, they're not an opportunist. They just don't know. They're ignorant of issues. So, for example, you see also in the left, we will say, these are backward ideas. It doesn't mean that we're saying you are backward as in the everyday colloquial meaning of it, that, oh, you are a backward person as in itemu local. No. Backward as in ideas that are not progressive, that are not in line with a progressive society. It's a backward idea. And these sellouts who support this party, this is not even a party. It's just a conglomerate of various desires and aspirations. Really, I mean, people just wake up and be like, wait, no, what a party is? A party is an institution. This is just a huge edifice of corruption.
But NPP is being institutionalized by the president. So
it is institutionalized.
According to President Barrow.
What Barrow has done is to institutionalize a machine, a well-oiled machine of corruption. And stealing and looting, you know, and they can take that to the bank, you know.
Mary, is this the right time to...
I want to clear this. You see, the same, my understanding, right? When it comes to mine, I will give my example. My understanding of sellout is the same. Now, if you know, it means you have knowledge of something, isn't it? Now, if you know and you don't accept that, it means you have betrayed your conscience. So when you betray, that like you know about me and you go and come on trade with US sellout. So obviously in the Gambia, even legally we have treason charges, isn't it?
Yes.
Meaning you betrayed the state.
Yes.
So if you say politically somebody is a sellout, it means he betrayed the country because he knows and he is still doing the other way around.
Yeah, is this the right time to protest about corruption?
Well, there is no time for it, specific time for it. If you ask me, there is no specific time for it. The bottom line is wherever it is happening, there should be resistance to kick it out like a bad habit. Point blank period. You don't have to have a dajalene okay bibu ndawla, bibu makla, or bubala duñ ko wax, or bojang la do alew duñ ko wax, why so they sirela, so they nene la bayo la bobu duñ ko wax. It doesn't, I mean, the color is the same, the sound is the same, the shape is the same. Magnitude is more different. But then the act itself, it's the same. So, comme ni Alieu wax rek umput ken reerut ken ci dëkk bii ne lu xew la luubal alali askan bi dafa nekk loo xam ne every day mu ngi xew dafa nekk a way of life that is being celebrated more than achieving a master's or a doctorate degree in our current generation right now, right? Because of ñi sàcca ñi luubal seen way of life mu change seen dundin seen lépp change moom la people draw closer to them that somebody struggling staying overnight you are in the Kabada area or Bora Ba where Madi Jabate is stay no electricity you go miles to fetch water but yet still you go to school you learn you go to the market sell for your mom the meager resources you pay for it for school fees you graduate nobody sees that. They take it as it's a normal thing. Nobody sees your struggle and your hustle, right? Why ñi ñoo wax ne ñoo tek ñoo xam ne ñu ko liggéeyut ñu ko elloowut ñooñu la ñoo wax ne ñoo tek ci biir dëkk bi ñooñu la ñoo celebrate. So ku bëgg ñu celebrate la ku bëgg xew ku da nga am pour dem nga bokka you join nga def li ñooy def pour nga bokka si that kabal o kabudu. Lolu moo xew. You understand? But again, like for Gala, Alieu had said it, you know, from day one, it is mandinko ka fo nene majelem aman nene soto nyimbanko kan nene majo wala tina saindung niya foko hey Kaboom Academy auditors have gone there and there is 200,000 that cannot be accounted for. Hana Gala gisuñ ne Kaboom Academy halis rare na fa that is what is happening. Exactly, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not knowing even you the staff of Kaboom the management, it is your responsibility. Send affair la pour ngeen go to the bottom of it pour xam kan moo jël xaalis boobu noonu and then the needful is done as per the audits or the findings. Waaye Gala la ñoo xalaat waaye man li ma wax damaa ne sant yàlla bu mag la parce que su dee def nga fi lu fi kenn musuta def ba ñëpp yaakaar ne yow yaa ko mun a def du man du keneen kon sant yàlla la su fi emoon sax mu neex. You understand? But at the end of the day, for a very long time, everybody will say, Gala dena, ken dega tulen, Gala amatut at yoy nono. You know, hey, gis nga ku son na daw. Ku tayi daw. Ku gade daw, do feke dara. Lol la nit ñi wara xam. At the end of the day, from the first protest, I tell people, responsible youth, right? Of all ages, either they are going to school, they are in active employment, working very responsible. They came together. You buy little ñoo def ñu ñëw. Do ne ay idle people la ñu amul dara ñu frustrate, you understand, because of their jobless, they cannot do anything for themselves. You know what I mean? They have more credibility and their characters are more impeccable that some of these officials in suit and vehicles that we gave them to drive, we fuel it, we maintain them, they have more impeccable character than those people because at least ñoom ñu ngi dundee ci lu tuuti o ñu ngi jàng ñu ngi ko doyloo contentment waaye ñoo xam ne ak seen jàng fu mun a toll mun a luñ dara seen boppa buñ ne tey government bi daaxa nañ leen si liggéey bi at least dinañ toog nu mu bon bon benn 3 months boo xam ne no income absolutely no income is going to come to them so kooku noonu mënuloo toog di dimin or di tuutil this group of young people lu may nga wax leen jërëjëf parce que yow loo ñeme ñu ta def ñu ngi koo def loo sañu ta def ñu ngi koo def yéen sa loo xalaatu ta def ñu ngi koo def and defin boobu noonu yow lu laa njëriñ ëllëg la njëriñ sa doom njëriñ sa askan loolu la war a nekk at the end of the day the list I mean again you can never satisfy people if the statement has come out they say okay we are staging a protest to fight corruption on this day the questions will be you don't have an agenda. How can you fight all corruption? Right? Because it's too vague. You need to be specific. Now examples are given, but yet still they now say, oh, but you cannot fight all that. Where are we heading to? You know what I mean? And like Alieu said, they tell you, it's not like anybody who's angry and say, anybody that mentioned corruption, the joke, corruption, corruption, corruption. The list is not exhaustive. I have seen it. But you will see that these are audits of findings that are conclusive. And recommendations have been done, have been written, but nothing was done. It's just left like that. And then you will see in the findings of investigations there, efforts were there to kill it, to sabotage it, to demean it, to do everything possible to make sure these things don't come to light. But ongoing things, like you say, the gala, the protest or whatever, as respectable people, right? If you demand for something and you have a response, at least as a dissent somebody, give it time. The commissions of whatever is ongoing, even though it is supposed to be a committee inquiry, but it's look like it's a commission of inquiry. Again, sometimes we miss it from the foundation. That's why we don't get it right at the end. We got nothing at the end of it. Because I'm a little bit confused. You know what I mean? I see legal people are the ones doing the questioning and answering as opposed to the elected official, because this is supposed to be a committee of the assembly. It's not a commission of inquiry established by an act to do a finding. Remember, these things that they're looking into has already been, done by a commission that have come. So then they were the tay when they use emotions, anything. I'm a little bit confused, and I need a little bit of sensitization or enlightenment in it, because when I watch it, the 2 days or whatever, you must say Satan, it just looked like it. And it just looked like a replica of the TRRC, the Janet Commission, and the ongoing local government inquiry. You know what I mean? When they top on you fate the focus and the direction or at the end of the day, now you're gonna come back and bring a report. So is the report going to unearth anything different from what the Janet Commission has? And then you do what? Because the Janet Commission has not been implemented, right? It's still there. Now, come to think that not to digress, it was about Gala. Man, I believe in precipitating crisis to come and change. And Gala is saying we're going to protest again on Tuesday. It's going to be 2.0. Because
in fact, it's already making somebody sleepless, as he confirmed.
I know.
On the whole, we are having impact, huh? Oh, I thought we are not having impact.
So, Alieu, President Ako, ako din ngo minka chapar-chapar. Akala, sutokan, abukan sino fokang fa.
Kampa baga. Naga kampa la. The thing about Barrow, you should have fear, not even anger. The fact that Naga Kampala just shows the level of arrogance that the president of this country has. That he feels so entitled that you guys remember when Yahya Jammeh used to be so confused that people wanted to vote him out.
Yeah,
he was genuinely confused. He was like, I think I'm the best thing that ever happened to this country, because he genuinely believed that. He was, Jammeh had this messianic complex, he was a megalomaniac. And Barrow is turning out and shaping out to become that. But the thing, or the unfortunate thing for Barrow is, which he should know, if he listens to this program, is that it's too late to inspire fear in the youths of this country. It's too late. You can't have that anymore.
He listens. The fear card cannot be played anymore.
No. So he can stay angry, that's okay.
It's an arrested card.
Okay. Every Gambian have the right to be angry.
To be angry. He can stay angry. No, you can continue.
By the way, he watches the program. Yeah, he's a fan of this program. Yeah, one thing I wanted to say, you're using English language so complicated that, it's okay today. Because if the panelists was more than this, some members, it would have been at another level.
Too high level.
Too high level. And you get some people confused. So I'm glad.
Yeah, on Talibo.
Say Talibo.
He's on Talibo. Talibo nene abete lade.
Move take it and die.
Bayo is going. Bayo is the dog. Talibo would have called you activities.
Activities. Activities.
I get that a lot.
You are lucky today. Talibo is on here.
Yeah, so Bua, Alieu Jamu fundamental, I mean, maybe I will take that position like, okay, I'm a member of Gala, but I'm sitting here on, for the capacity So, you see, Mulma understand.
No, you are sitting here as a panelist.
Okay.
Because of Ninkala.
I'm sitting here as what?
As Sonko Gambia. You know? Panelists that we have here. Yeah, as panelists, thank you. I know. Okay.
Yeah, so Bua,
Sonko bi Alieu di wax maa ngi gis baxee nu mu ko xoolee. I'm sure ndeysaan may na mi mu ngi dem on that fateful day.
When they are arrested. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, but you know, Alieu is a strong guy. Though.
Yeah, it's a very...
So, Bua, remember caring? Nyimbango kanga, like, wala nang, you know, Nadiam for them for them to go. Bangu dungulu, you know, for na see, you know, we reflect our mind. What did we want? You see, Melba Wurka, Buffalo go, yes, there are corruption in the councils and things like that. You know, I think they don't actually read our press statement. If you read it and understand it, and you don't have any other ulterior motive, you know, in your car understand the other go, we are talking about corruption. We are fighting against corruption. Corruption remember cake and a banko kang. Because telling you, we are fighting against the audit reports from 2017 to 2020. Audit reports, we don't differentiate it. Audit reports are audit reports. And look, you cannot fight for an audit report, it's incomplete. People need to understand that. In the among conclusive. We have to fight. It's conclusive. Okay, now, let me ask you something. If you are telling us, let's say we should make a protest against the councils, for example. I mean, what are the councils going to do? The councils are on the who? So our protest is against the state. Because the councils are under the state. The states can do anything to the council. You know that if the president wants, he can, do something and then dissolve all these councils?
He appointed most of them.
Come on. So the thing is, remember what people need to understand. The power is with the state, is with the president. The power is with the central government. The central government. Na lua, I sembo men di jang like all what look. The Commission of Inquiry, remember on the local governments, Dumala set up. Let's ask ourselves about that. Masakunda set up. What is the purpose of Masakunda setting up that one? What is their purpose? They set it up to know the amount of issues mismanagement will be council sold. And if they actually know there are factual evidence there were mismanagement in the councils now. You understand? We expect the government to take a step against the councils. It's not the council taking a step against themselves. So going to the councils, what are we going to do? Let's ask ourselves about this. So we are protesting against the state to say to them, wherever corruption is, we want the states to act. Lieutenant Masakunda mamang. Corruption over cake and dam, you drive a cake and down, Lieutenant Masakunda step taji. There have been a lot of inquiries. There have been a lot of investigations. The fisheries, ministry was born to us. Here, there was an investigation. What was the end results?
They said it was electricity.
So now, the Gambia Ports Authority, almost about how many millions was missing at the Gambia Ports Authority. Now, Gambia Kodola, this is our money. And now, Gambia Ports Authority, Jumal, who is the superior? Jumal Marata, the Gambia Ports Authority. Jumal say, those people, the commission found them wanting. Who is the Dumale Mod Mealonko? Wole say Samboso, you have the superior power. So we are saying that the authority there, Mealonko, the power is given to, is the one Mealonko should act on all these things. So we are going to face those authority. We are expecting or we want you people to act on all the recommendations. Mealonko will be audit reports also. From all the institutions in this country, from the Gambia Port Authority, from Nawek Lembang, from Fire Service Lembang, from the Gambia Police Force Lembang, from Edward Francis Small Hospital Lembang, like what he has just said. Hey, let us understand one thing. Look, you see somebody dying. I fire somebody didn't go sing. Yeah, bad again. It is when you're the It is Balundala. Masakunda, a passing male we voted in for to be the president of the country. We're seeing a Nyabala. I inquiry, they form an inquiry. Pay those people, they did those investigations. Yeah. the reports were out. What was the step? So, people must understand governance. You know, if, let's say, for example, Natara is the masses, let's say, for example, whenever the masses come out, the president is accepting it, the president is acting on it, you think more of a son can you judge go kotenke. And let's take a big example of the Ghana Commission. That's why, when Ghana Commission happened here, there was no step taken against the Ghana Commission. I said to myself, all the reports will not go, nothing is going to happen. And I was not disappointed or surprised. I had the president say, all the reports are just opinions. That's it. So, yes, still, I am in the Ghana Commission was set up to teach them, how to do corruption without being, detected. Because, the corrupt practices will happen during Jembe time. And when this new government came, they were able to detect those ones. So, now, the Ghana Commission was set up to tell them, look, if you do it in this way, it will be detected. Don't do it in this way. Do it in another way. So this is why, we are at a very critical position. We are at a very critical condition where people working or people stealing in the government, they know how to steal. They know how to manipulate. And they will manipulate, they will, when the Bangkok or Sunyala, if the Bunya Lola, if the phone Lola, you go to the record, you might not find them. How many million was spent by the central government? Many alonko, because these were checks. Many alonko, the checks were withdrawn, but the money was, the checks were cancelled, but the money was withdrawn. How many millions? Over 100 millions in the Bankola Kodokono. So now, the National Assembly already can bring Koditole Dokol back here, the National Assembly, for example. National Assembly, let's go back to the impresses now. There was an issue here. There were people they found one thing, and then the National Assembly asked them to pay back those money. Now we are asking the central government to tell us, to give us a general report about what happened. Those government officials, did they actually pay those monies? Because this is our money. And they have the right to know all these things. This is why when Gala came out, they were, at that moment, we were having a key interest, we are having a key focus, we want to know. And what we want to know was, the list. That's why, at that time, our main demand is the list. We want to see the list of people, amount of money, the amount of money generated from the Ghana Commission. We want to actually know it. Jumalia Sang, who were responsible for it, and that prompted us to the new investigative commission set up. And that one is going, that process is going on. That is why, if you look at our statement, if you look at Gala's statement now, we actually did not talk about those assets things, because already there is a pending investigation. So we are not talking about that one. Now we are talking about things Paul Melihalonko, they are already concluded. Let's say
so what takes me to this bio.
Okay.
Let's say who you permit odial, alteral protester, al janjanta. What next?
Okay. So this is where Ghana is a completely different thing in terms of issues, okay, let's say there is a petroleum scandal, okay, and we expect by now those people who were found wanting or who were whose names were mentioned, we expect the president to send them home, or even the state to be prepared right now to take them to the court. That's what we expect. So we did not see that. Now we expect for example, we expect the state, we expect the president, but let me tell you something. Like we already tell the government this is our demand. If President Barrow, for example, the demands we put there,
they continue from there. You expect Praye by Name by
we are going to let me tell you, Ghana thing is a continuous thing, because this is a
you are going to protest again.
Yes, for sure. I'm not talking about let me tell you about something. Let me tell you something. Especially you, the one telling us, go and protest about the council or so. Hey, let me tell you something. Look, I being a citizen of this country, one thing is my motive. I want to see a government mayor lonko do bal masakundalam do bal nyande ke fanja masakunda kono le andung na jele ko wo do bal te fon jelo masakunda kono nim masakunda mon do bal fele komba bari ntele ta masakunda kan sai kam fandi masakunda la kam masakunda im fele ida yenta o ida yen soron e ko bena but do bal suwe men do bal nyande ko sotol. So this is our stand. So gala mbe findil.
Okay.
We are going to go out and we've already said for permit, and already it might be because right now discussions are going on. So it might be 22nd, it might be 23rd. That discussion is actually going on. We expect when it's concluded, you understand, there will be a release to tell people the actual date. But and I really want people to understand this. This is not about me. This is not about Alieu. This is not about Omar Saibo, or this is not about Munya. But this is about Ndolu Banku Dung. This is about the future of Ndolu future and the generation coming. Okay. If we have to sit down and if you want to take everything on partition, I am telling you, we will keep being in the partition issue until these people, the cabal, who are sitting at the central government there, who are sitting at wherever institution they are, either Bangkok na Florida, ya Sunya, ya Bunjang Lo, ya Motobal Borondi, ya Bulhimus Nyumal Siga. At the end of it, we will not have any.
Thank you.
Why you like that, Ablai? Why you like that?
Yeah.
Why you like that? Female representatives and female officials.
Okay.
Who are also
reactions.
Now, I want to approach this from different angles.
Okay.
As I said, it's a platform for us to say our opinions based on our graves. Now, Gambia, the context of Gambia as a society, the word is seen as negative, rude, arrogant. And I'm a Gambian, and I will not want to say Gambians should not see it that way, because that is how it is. You understand? So, yes, personally, I may not agree with Alieu. For using that word in his message, right? Because people have different ways of seeing things and so on. I'll first take the opportunity to commend Gala for their initiative. And on the issue of, I cannot defend Alieu, to be frank with you. But on the issue of sellout, I'm with him until God's office. What sellout means, everybody knows. If you live integrity, your values, your principles, for self-aggrandizement, you are a sellout, bro. That's what it means. Now, if you know this is the value of Gambians, okay, what are our values? What are our customs? We don't steal, we don't, lie, we don't this, we don't that. Yet you know all these things. And you left them for your own personal. You are a sellout. You are a betrayal.
Let me help you. Sellout is Jai Sangor.
This is it.
Jai Sangor. As I make a young wahante. Goreulo.
This is it.
You understand?
Jai
nga Sangor, ngir alel, Jai nga Sangor, ngir position, Jai nga Sangor, ngir halis.
For personal benefit.
Exactly, for personal benefit.
So
Jai Ngor, my sellout. Yes. In the Queen's language.
Yes.
In my Taliban.
I mean, the best example of such in our society, let's say, for example, government is still in 2017. And we all see those roads right now, for example, are kaput. Within just a short period. And you see that, you actually seen that, knowing very well, this thing only happened because corruption. Because people who are giving money to do this, they share our money among themselves. This is why they did not do good work for us. Hey, Jawara time, or Jambes time, nying silo, adokuda, hey, nying silo. Look at it now, right now. Still now, Silo became
because of quality.
Because of quality. So the thing is, we are following a government Alonco is not giving us something quality, but you still want to follow that government. Hey, you are a sellout.
No, I think to be very explicit, President Barrow is a sellout. And what that means is, he has not fulfilled his promises or left his values and principles for his personal interests. In the case of the Constitution, you can say President Barrow is a sellout. And that's okay. The 3 years, President Barrow is a sellout. And that's okay. Because he did all these things to benefit him personally, to perpetuate himself. What them sell out? Come in here for nyame. What I'm trying to say is this. If you want to rate two people, Indo kontekata kabutole. Wala ngalo na come more kabuto messed up. Based on our tradition, based on humanity, who is more, abusive to our society, social fabric? Jumale la boinda siata. So if you put these two people, I will take Menko the effort than Menko kata kabutole. You understand? And I think most Gambians also will take that. That's my opinion.
But this is the hypocrisy of our people.
Good. So we condemn that.
At the double standard.
Yeah, the double standard. So that aspect. Let's come to Gala. Gambians against looted assets. Come on. Iko Gambian on menlo takaje ko ndu jajo aning banko bela na fulo ka sunya melia sunya ka wakele webo nyim banko kan. That is not Alieu. He might be the face. That is not Quran. He might be the face. Or any woman that is there, for me to be fair. She might be the face. But it's talking about Gambians against looted assets. Our assets. So if you take our money, it's asset. If you take our land, it's asset. That does not only mean they have to stay within only this audit report. The language is very clear. Because the lands that are there, we probably did not even talk about, for example, is part of asset now. So they are against the looted assets. So obviously, if land is shared amongst people unfairly, taking advantage of the majority Gambians, that's looting. So if they say they are that association, you cannot come and say, oh, I'm not part of it, let them. You are included, Gambians. You understand? So this is the situation for Gala. I really agree with him that if you say this, why don't you also come and do your own thing? Nobody is stopping you.
You know, there's something I hear that Ibrahim Traore is doing. But a lot of people, I don't know whether this is confirmed, but I'm sure some of you have heard it, that if you are criticizing the government, they draft you into the army and go fight terrorists at the border.
Yeah, I heard of that.
I think, I don't know, people are like, no, but it's infringement. I was like, I mean, if you love your country that much that you criticize the government, you go and fight for it.
Yeah.
So it's the same analogy. You just wanted to use that.
If you are not happy with another sector, you go and protest.
Yes. I mean, if we do that, I think things will start working.
Yeah.
But we're not going to act like Gala is as if we've been put on this earth to only protest. We have lives. I have a job.
I'll get back to you shortly. Yeah,
Yeah. So for me, this is what it is. Gala have come up. If you are somebody who is very legally whatever, that okay, since it's their permit and this and this and that, I cannot join them. That is up to you. But you cannot also be there vilifying people or trying to reduce their efforts. This, as he said, as far as my little knowledge is concerned, in our political landscape or our civil agitation landscape. Can you see Faje? Now, personally, at my own level and little whatever, as far as some little knowledge I have in certain areas is concerned, I want to add this. I'm not sure if it is the right way of doing it or not. Those that I talk to, probably who are not here, can confirm this. I think sometimes in interventions, especially youth-led initiatives, we need to be strategic and tactful. And let's see if we can include something that would have a broader implication that will go for generations to come. More than this. I'm not saying this is not going to go for generations to come. Like, for example, if, unfortunately, at the time, a lot of things were happening personally, so I could not do anything. But to give my public commentary and a little bit of suggestion is, why not we add the issue of recall? You see? For me, if we protest for recall in our National Assembly, for it to be worked on before 2026 election, for me, it's more of impact. The issue is this. When a National Assembly member travels to Turkey and privately a business tycoon meets him and says, I want to come to Ghana, but the landscape is this and this and this and this, but I can give you this for you to initiate this and this and this and this and this. He can easily accept it because we don't know what happened there. When he comes home, he can play his cards to make sure something happens. But let's assume he knows that the very day I introduce this, I need only 30% of those that voted me to put me out. It will be a self-regulatory something. It means, who was the guy who initiated this issue of select committee? It is these people now. They would have not done it. They know, but they would have not done anything about it. because we cannot recall them. We cannot get them out of that seat. When they disappoint us, they fail their promises or so on. Now let's assume Gala incorporates that, or Gambians try to bring that up and join the protest and make sure that is worked on before even the 2026 elections. You see, a parliamentarian will be careful what he talks, what he does not talk, what he does and what he does not do. Because he knows that Gambians don't only have the time after 5 years or during the 5-year tenure. He or she would be careful and will be self-regulating and will do the bidding of the Gambian. And this aligns with section 1(2) of the Constitution, which says power resides in the sovereign people of Gambians. And all organs of government get their power from the people. But these people cannot even dictate, cannot recall their representatives as it is now, because it's very difficult. So let's assume that is added, or that strategy is put in place. It will be, something that will solve so many other
it will be a workflow.
issues than assets alone. The issue with assets is going to be this. Believe it or not, after these things, you will see people hiring lawyers to defend them. Oh, I got it properly. I did this. I did that. It's not my role to be compliant. It is the government's role to be compliant. Stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And legally, it will be a back and forth. And it will take a lot of time.
Even after the
and it's going to be difficult for us to recover. Now, to give a one-time solution, if we protest, for example, for recall, write our petitions, go to the National Assembly, and we go out, and this parliament makes sure they have an act, they pass an act for recall to be easier, believe it or not, because they will know that if we don't impeach the president, our people will impeach us by recalling us. So they will act. In my opinion, that is a more long-term, more strategic, more problem solving.
Our plate is a bit full now, but I think you can champion that.
That's not a problem. You see, let me
just read my mind. I love Alieu.
Okay, I love that. The issue is this. We are not saying it for Gala per se only to do it. It's a public space. Maybe somebody out there is thinking of what to do. This is something. So it's discussion that anyone can champion, not only Gala, not me, not any individual. But my experience,
I will follow you.
My issue with this country is this. My issue with this country is this. Personally, you write, you do petitions, you do whatever, nothing comes out of it.
As if they read it.
Yes. That is the truth. You write, and this is not only for government, even political parties. September, I think 2020 something, I wrote a letter to almost all the political parties. National Human Rights. You see, people don't even, they don't.
Did any one of them reply to your letter?
They don't even acknowledge the receipt of something. That, okay, we've received it.
No, did any one of the political parties respond to your letter?
The only individual who called me was somebody who was about for a party, now is almost dead. And the SFL actually also reached out. That, okay.
After receipt of your letter?
Yes, that, okay, we've received this and this is good.
Okay.
Let's be frank.
Which is good, even if anything happens, which is good.
The institutions, I went back, let's say, for example, to the National Human Rights Commission. They were struggling to see where the thing is. And up to today, they cannot see it.
Interesting. If you have anything to respond, time over if you have anything to respond.
No, I mean, the only thing that I want Gambians to think about is the far-reaching implications of silence and the implications of indifference. I think there was one philosopher who said indifference is the very stuff that make even the angels weep. To be indifferent. I think this is one of those diseases that we must really combat in this country. I like people who are passionate about something. I even respect people who are passionate about their NPP thing, I mean, at least have some life, man.
Talibo comes in mind.
Be passionate about, but you're just there, you're just existing.
A pendulum.
This is an appeal to every Gambian, young or old, no matter where you come from in this country, or not even Gambians, every human being who resides in this country. As of this point, that it only takes people to build a society, and it only takes a great deal of passion and commitment and consistency, and that righteous impulse to create a new society. And Gambia, God knows, we really need a newness. we need something fresh. This is not New Gambia. Whatever this is, it's neither old nor new. It is just what it is, you know? So I'll urge Gambians, if you cannot show up to the protest, promote it, do propaganda work. And if you are passionate about something, like the councils, you can also, you know, create your own protest, you know, and march on. But this is the verdict of history, that we either will rise up together or we'll all fall and perish together. You know, so yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's important, but Belanga Rapo, just to piggyback, when you talked about this, it's like a lot of people, it's just they belong nowhere and they do nothing, you know, because most of the times you hear people, they will tell you, man duma politician, man bokuma si politics, man dama si politics dapat tilim, you know, politicians are liar, politicians are corrupt, they label politicians all this. Maybe they're right.
That's what they show us. That's what most of the politicians
that's why I'm not saying it's not true. Maybe they are right? And again, they just bundle everybody and put them in one pot because of possibly one, or if you look at our current situation right now, you will have no choice but to say those things. And you respect a local. But I just say, aside from that, think about not participating in politics, not loving politics, not liking politics, not having an interest in politics. But think about the impact of politicians on you that does nothing about politics and not interested and not partaking.
On you, the angel.
On you, the angel. Because the impact is huge.
Yeah,
you know, it's bigger than even the participation you would have done. You understand? So, legi ning de halat lolu nonu. Talk rek de ak the angel malalu doru lo feyekulo. You know, yo demulo fen defulo dara. You know what I mean? And with Gala, you know, all of them were rek silo weru bu degere rek do danu. You understand? Silo jappa, bu dego rek do wada do dano te man suma gom goy moy ne fi ngeen wéeru dëgër na te fi ngeen wéeru mooy fan ci li ma gom mooy ci askan bi ci nit ñi parce que seen xeex seen mbébét seen jooy mooy mbébét ak jooytu askan bi ci li ngeen jàpp mooy gom-gomi askan bi ak li askan bi di jànku wantel te fo naa ne loolu dëgër na doo leen wada doo leen daanu te doo leen fakastalu jël leen yàlla rek te continuer.
Thank you.
I mean, my blessing, my support, my love, and I love my babies, honestly.
Thank you so much.
I want to give shout out to Salifu and is it Babukar? Babukar, they graduated, you know, recently, and also they were elected as youth parliament from their different, you know, exactly constituents, which is amazing. Such lovely kids. I mean, their smiles are epic and mesmerizing.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Yeah, definitely.
Right,
I love
so
my
much.
babies.
Alta EP is abo download.
You know, on behalf of the panel, you know, I mean, you know, it will be important we send condolence to the late former president of Nigeria,
Muhammad
Buhari, because
he's
someone may along during 2016 impasse. He actually played, you know, I mean, a vital role.
Purga jamme bondi jam. Yeah, sure.
No, actually, I mean, the efforts I make, you know, and then saya fila banda, said why puraga sa sudan.
Alamane wani kafar kela.
The late Abdullah Bojang of NUP.
Yeah, and the late
Abdullah Jam.
I was Abdullah Jam.
So Medwala, I mean, you know, in mol me yalong ko, I mean, basically, you know, inyatong kaya pala solta. Be Niman Tarajang, said do Almale, so General Fidaus, inshallah.
All right. I mean, thank you so much. I'll tend to call back in Ganine Sotale, be Konga for Yamendong, Alta APS Apo download, Milia Lonquabal Dandila Bakele, Allah do call to me Alonqual Bakele, Sutru Sama Konombe Minkono Science and Tenting, is a Sinuela Bunkono, a Caspa sang, Watara Mambata, or Lake Redico sang, Watara Imambata, what Mobi Bori, is a Kodo Fanankino, Cabo Gambe Bantala through this app, Fat. Natarebe Kombojang is a Kodo Kino, Basi is a Kino, Kiang is a Kino, Padibu is a Kino, Jara Somo is a Kino, Dauda, Natarebe Jima Fona is a Kodo Kino, Aina combo. What on your Abu, Mobisa download no ila mobile to free of charge and don Nika Credico la Caspa sang Abimu free of charge lady. Kerfind a corda wafoleke, Alta Cordal Sanje, Kenol be Bulle, Alon Collectional Betarele, a corda low Francale, and Natara Kenken only be Bulu, but a corda lorim banding all Fanam be Bulle. Milia lonko ka wale wafi Gambia banko kan jang ito lem nyonta ngol tini nata korda wafo la Gambia jang na technician ol Sire Drame Charles Elvis Ngom Mustafa Kamara Lamin Diallo aning Samsidin Bojang ngebe tentuke je bake katara nyin camera ani masingol koma arjumana la mbe murana le ni ala kiditala bye bye.
Welcome to Care Madam Sanya, Borom, Sweden. This is another Care Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. Man, I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. Care Finder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities and the drawers are so spacious, and then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. Care Finder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well, so you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot, trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Seka. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because Care Finder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 4172215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale, has an owner and not open for viewing. Care Finder is here for you.
Nyatimbo ntemu APS leti. Ntemu APS leti. APS Gambia le mu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyatimbo ete ku furi mbala kentala di. Ke nyatimbo ntari taba futu wola. At least it ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyatimbo. Yo min fo enda sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kinu min tata fa wuli muan ime charge fenna wala nta sindija
ako nyatimbo nkoy ko kabo transito kata wala fa wuli muan ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal ike tamun ike charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% na malam lati
wota yara gambe no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mo baylo ko kodo ki ibadi ngol
yajale ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari men ko mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat din suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas pawa isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
otambade ngameno albesito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lambay lo kon APS wallet nyaata doro bari ko do nim fata do suko kon to ru
ni be fo no le mol nyaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fo le
basiti jembita ndo register jede kadu sa APS 100% namum
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.